Light of the world, light up your world, it's a hit. I'm so lit, I'm so lit. Light of the world, light up your world, it's a hit. Holy script, Holy script. Got the word in my mouth, on my lips. So legit, in the script. I'm the light of the world, no eclipse. Get it poppin', ain't no stopping, that's what we do. Keep it steppin', elevating, that's how we move. Praise the Lord from the UK to España. Es su suceso, Señor, de mi vida. Sing, 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 raise it up like a choir. Fire shut up in my bones, I can't stay quiet. Taking down giants like David did Goliath. Saving souls, all of heaven get excited. I'm so lit, I'm so lit. Light of the world, light up your world, it's a hit. I'm so lit, I'm so lit. Light of the world, light up your world, it's a hit. Holy script, Holy script. Got the word in my mouth, on my lips. So legit, in the script. I'm the light of the world, no eclipse. No eclipse.
Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to Know the Word with me here, Evangelist Lady Grace. Oh, it is so excited. We are back with Know the Word. Yes, we are back with Know the Word, and I am so thrilled, so happy. You know, we were looking at what's the best date for Know the Word, with the reading of the Rhapsody of Realities daily devotional by my dear man of God, Pastor Chris Ayakilomi. And so on the flyer, you've probably seen 6 o'clock. 6:30 will be the time. So every Sunday at 6:30. Well, don't go anywhere. Hit that share button and invite some folks in, because I will be right back with you after this break. Remember, invite someone. I know they'll be blessed.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. Welcome to Know the Word. Stay tuned for the Word.
Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to Know the Word with me here, Evangelist Lady Grace. I am so happy to welcome you all in today. Yes, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and for those of you who are in church, I know you were blessed today. If you are in a Bible-believing church or a word-preaching church, you would be so blessed. Well, tonight I am going to share with you a message that I took right out of the Rhapsody of Realities daily devotional by my dear man of God, my pastor, my life coach, my mentor, my father, Pastor Chris Ayakilomi. And I'm going to share that with you today. And I know that you're going to be blessed. So tonight's message is entitled Testify of His Goodness. Now, when I do the reading of the Rhapsody, I tend to take, whatever message I'm being led to. And so tonight, with this message, this particular one that says Testify of His Goodness, you see, I'll be, what I've seen is in some culture, it's accustomed to people not testifying of God's miracles in their life, because they feel like, hey, if I testify, then the devil is going to attack me. If I testify, then people are going to hear, and they're gonna influence this miracle. They're gonna impact this miracle somehow. Well, that's opposite of what God intended for us to do with whatever we receive from Him. When you receive of God's goodness, one person that comes to mind in the Bible is David. whenever God does anything, David always testify. David is one of those people that I have identified myself with in the Bible, just because of his passion, his love, his desire, and the depth of his love for God. But most importantly, he's always testifying of God's goodness. He's always testifying of God's greatness. He's always testifying of what God has done in his life. And I think, when the Bible tells us that David was a man after God's heart, God called him a man after his own heart. I believe that these are some of the principles or the attributes that David had within him that made God took such delight in him. The fact that he's always testifying of God's goodness, the fact that he can stand before Goliath and proudly declare who God is, and proudly declare, God, how his beauty, his grace, everything about him, how super. I'm trying to find words. Oh, I bet if I speak in tongues, I would be able to find words. But just the depth of God, the level of God. That's David. David is that sort of person. And when he stood before Goliath, he wasn't ashamed to call God his father. He wasn't ashamed to declare God's goodness. He wasn't ashamed to declare who God is. No, he was rather proud. And that is when we testify of God's goodness. That's what we're doing. We should never be ashamed of who God is. We should never be ashamed to be identified as Christians. We should never be ashamed. See, that's what the enemy will do. You'll see people, religious people, and they will mask their Christianity. They will mask it, because if someone find out, they're going to persecute me. Persecute you, the Christians. That's again, you see, they haven't read Paul's message. Persecute you. Didn't they persecute Jesus? Did you see him going around mopping and crying, poor me? No! That's what we take delight in. When they persecute you, it's when men persecute you, it's a ladder for success.